How did you get pregnant if you don't have a man? Well, hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. If you guys are new, my name is Harmony, and today's video, as you can tell by the title, is going to be a get ready with me Q&A. I asked you guys on my community page on my YouTube channel if you guys had any questions for me, and I got a couple. And then I also answered some questions that I've been getting throughout my videos for the past couple of weeks. So if you guys are interested to know more about me and just kind of chit chat, grab your makeup, grab your coffee, and just chill and get ready, then just keep on watching. If you guys have any questions, video suggestions, comments, concerns, all that good stuff, make sure you guys leave them for me in the comments down below. Also, you guys can follow me on Instagram, you guys can follow me on Snapchat, Twitter, hit me up on my other social media so that we can be friends. And yes, without further ado, let's just jump right into the makeup. I'm so excited because this is the first time that I've actually filmed a makeup look in my new apartment. I'm so excited. Ooh, it's like so crazy because I've lived by myself for the last week, and it's, well, actually 2 weeks, and it's been honestly two of the best weeks of my life. I'm so happy. Yeah, let's just like jump into the makeup. I'm not going to be talking about what products I'm using or anything like that, because then this video will literally be 5 hours long, and I'm actually kind of not in a hurry, but I'm going on a little date later, so I need to hurry up. And I also have to finish editing my video for tonight. I feel like so bad when I miss uploads. I feel like I might just upload this video that I have tomorrow. I feel so bad. Okay, so I'm just gonna start the makeup, and we're gonna talk, have some girl talk. So grab your makeup and let's get ready together. First one was, would you ever consider a group chat for girls wanting surro advice? I've actually never really thought about that, but that's actually a very good idea, and I would definitely be open to doing that. I've thought about like starting a Facebook group, not about that, but in general, I've wanted to start like a women's empowerment Facebook group, but I don't really like Facebook. Probably the one social media that I check maybe like once a week. Like, I never use it. I really just don't like Facebook. I don't know if maybe because Facebook was something that I used more like in high school, so it kind of just reminds me of like high school. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know, I just prefer, you know, other social medias, but maybe like starting a group chat on Instagram I would be down for, or maybe even like once a week, like I can go live and we can like talk on there, so it's more of like an actual conversation. I would be down for that. If you guys are down for that, please let me know, and I will definitely do that. You guys can follow me on my Instagram. I will post it right here, and then also it'll be in the description box. It's super easy. You just type in Harms and it'll probably pop up. Harms. I'm getting ready right now, and I'm going on a date-ish kind of situation. I don't know. I don't want to give you guys too much information, but we'll see. Would you do surrogacy again? I get this question, you guys, all the time. Like, I'm not kidding. I get asked this on my YouTube channel at least like 3 times a day on different videos. All the time people ask me, and the answer is I don't know. And the reason why I say I don't know is because, you know, never say never. At this moment of my life, would I do it right now? No. But at the same time, like, I can't think of a reason why I would never do it again. You know what I mean? Because like, I did have a good experience and I enjoyed doing it. That's not the reason why I wouldn't do it again. I don't know. It's a lot on your body being pregnant, and I do want more kids of my own. So maybe after I am done having kids of my own, if it's in my heart to do it again, and I'm, you know, God willing, healthy and able to, then I might consider it. But yeah, as I said, right now in this moment of my life, no. I had such a good experience. I wouldn't want to do it so close together and then have like a bad experience the second time. I know that is not a good way of thinking. Like, I'm not trying to think negatively. I hate thinking negatively. I always look at the positive and like the best in every situation, and I try to not think of like the bad things that could possibly happen. But you know, I don't know, I don't want to ruin the first experience that I had. And there's some people who do it back to back within like the same year, and that's good for them. Like, that's great. A lot of those people probably have perfect pregnancies, and that unfortunately is not the case for me. Then a lot of people will probably ask like, okay, well then why did you do it if you don't have good pregnancies? It's not that I have bad pregnancies, it's just that I have a lot of side effects. So for both pregnancies, I threw up almost every day. Like, I literally had to take Zofran every single day, every 6 hours, or else I would throw up anything I ate. They don't give you Zofran the first trimester, at least most doctors don't, because it's normal to throw up like that. You know, it's like a normal side effect of pregnancy. It sucks. Like, it really, really sucks throwing up all the time. And is it worth having a baby to like deal with that? Absolutely. Like, it's not something that would stop me from having more kids, but at the same time, it's like, it still sucks. You know what I mean? Like, it sucks. And then the reason why I did it, knowing that that was a possibility, like, you know, being a surrogate, I obviously knew how that was my first pregnancy, and I knew it was a possibility that it would be like that my second, which it was, but I also knew there was a possibility it could be completely different. So I went in there with the mindset like, whatever, if I throw up all the time, then I throw up all the time. If I don't, then that's great. And I did. So obviously that's just how my body reacts to pregnancy, is by puking all the time, which is fine. But I never throw up when I'm not pregnant unless I'm drunk and I get like too drunk or drink a lot of beer. Then sometimes I'll throw up. But for the most part, I don't have a weak stomach or anything like that. I never really get sick. I have a very strong immune system, and I don't ever really have stomach problems. So yeah, I wouldn't do it again right at this moment of my life, but I might consider it in the future. You never know. Can't tell the future, but I definitely want to have more kids of my own first. Is California part of the USA? It is. Someone said, how did you know you wanted to be a surrogate? How can I be 100% sure that I would want to do this? I am so glad that you asked that. That is a great question. And I'm going to let you know exactly how. So I already talked about it in one of my other videos, so I'm not going to go into detail again about why I became a surrogate. I will link that video for you guys right here so you guys can listen to why I decided to do it. Basically, long story short, it was something that I was exposed to at a very, very young age. I was in 7th grade, so I was like 12 the first time I like heard the term surrogate, and I understood like what it was. Obviously I didn't 100% understand like the whole IVF process and all that goes into it, but I just knew that it was possible to carry a baby for someone else. And I told myself at that moment that I would like, oh, that's so cool. Like, I would love to do that for someone. Like, I've always loved babies. So I just, since I was little, I feel like I always had a very maternal instinct. When I was little, like, you know, 3 or 4, my mom said when we would go to like parties at their friend's house and stuff, and there was like pregnant women, if there was a pregnant lady at the grocery store or something, like, I always loved pregnant women. And then I got pregnant with my son when I was 18. And it was honestly the scariest thing I've ever been told. Like, I've never been so scared in my life. And I knew when I saw the heartbeat of my baby, like, I just knew that that was my baby. Like, I loved him, you know, the second I heard his heartbeat. And being pregnant so young, I realized that it was a blessing. No matter, you know, the circumstance, it was a blessing from God, and that I needed to embrace it. And I just always have thought so hard, like, there are women in this world who cannot bear a child, like, unfortunately, for many, many reasons, whether it's because their uterus is incapable, or they have a problem with their ovaries, or they had cancer, or they had a hysterectomy, or whatever it is. Or sometimes it's also like their husband, so maybe their husband can't, you know, and there's all these different reasons that go medically into why people cannot have babies. And there's nothing wrong with wanting your own baby. Like, I don't understand why people think, like, you know, people always throw that like adoption thing, like, oh well, there's lots of babies to adopt and blah blah blah. And it's like, I get that, but at the same time, it's like, who wouldn't want their own baby? You know what I mean? And trust me, like, my friend's little sister is adopted, so I completely think that adoption is a fantastic thing. It's also very, very expensive. It's also very, very hard. It's not just like, oh, I'm just gonna go to the shelter and adopt a child. You know, it's not like that. I think that a lot of people mistake adoption and think that it's like this easy thing. Maybe they don't, maybe they do, I don't know. But I know that adoption is not just an easy process to do. Just like surrogacy and IVF and stuff is not just a simple thing. That was a little rant, but yes. Okay, I'm just gonna finish my skincare off while I'm not talking because I cannot do both. So hold on. I always knew that I wanted to be a surrogate. I always knew I wanted to give another woman the opportunity to become a mom. It was just something that I felt in my heart to do. I prayed about it, and I feel like God really put it on my heart to do. And people come at me about God all the time, and it's like, please don't talk to me about my relationship with God, because that has nothing to do with you, and that's none of your business. And you should never, you know, speak on somebody else's relationship with anybody, but especially my relationship with God. Like, skirt out of here. How you know if you want to be a surrogate and you want to be 100% sure is you want to talk to the people in your life about it. You want to tell, not everybody, you don't need to like broadcast it on your social media or anything like that. Like, you don't even need to share it on your social media. I know so many people who are surrogates who, like, you would never know because they never post it, you know. Like, there are a lot of people that you probably know that knows a surrogate or have been a surrogate. It's not really talked about a lot, and I feel like I'm one of the first people who have openly like really talked about how the surrogate feels. And I definitely think it's important to bring awareness to it because it is such a big thing, especially with the technology that we have nowadays. It's just insane and crazy. Obviously, it's a blessing, and God created all of these things so we can use all these resources. And so, yeah, you just want to talk to the people around you and make sure that they're on board and they support you. Now, if you have family who does not agree with your decision, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. Like, that shouldn't be a deciding factor of why you do it or not. As long as you have some people or someone who supports you, whether that's your partner, your husband, your best friend, your mom, your dad, like whoever it may be that's supporting you, not like financially, you know what I mean, like supporting you with your journey, then you should be fine. And also, you know, through the surrogacy agency that I went through, which a lot of people ask me, and if you want to know what surrogacy agency I went through and, you know, all that stuff, then you guys can go ahead and just like DM me on Instagram, and I'll let you know. I'll give you guys like all the information and stuff that you need if you're really serious about it. But my surrogacy agency was amazing. Like, they took us to the spa twice, like literally like a full-blown like spa day. Like, I got a facial. Like, it was crazy, and it was like such a good experience. I met so many other surrogates, so throughout my entire surrogacy, if I had questions, like, I always had somebody to talk to. I knew this one girl, her name's Alyssa, if you're watching this, like, hey girl. She, like, we actually like became friends from it, and we, you know, had our babies a couple months apart. She even came to Elijah's birthday party, and like, she's so sweet, and I really, really like her a lot, and I never would have met her if it wasn't for this. And my coordinator, she's amazing, and I love her, and like, I talk to her all the time. And, you know, still I have, you know, I already had the baby, and I still talk to my surrogacy coordinator, and I love her. She wouldn't have been in my life if I wouldn't have done this. All those things mixed together, just like all the experiences and stuff, like, it just was something that I knew that I wanted, and I knew that I was going to take the most and learn from everything that I learned that year. You also want to be sure that you can give up a year of your life. If you have kids, like, you want to see, does this work with my life? What is being pregnant going to do? If you have a younger baby, I would suggest waiting until they're a little bit older, just because if the younger that the kids are, the more attention they need. Like, you know, obviously, duh, if they're like an infant baby, you constantly have to be watching them. And if they're a little older, like, they can kind of understand. Like, my son was old enough to understand, like, mommy's pregnant, mommy's sick, mommy's, you know, like, he was old enough to be explained, or to like explain it to him. I think that the younger they are, the harder it is going to be on you. Some people might disagree and think that it's better to do it while your kids are young so they don't understand or they don't know. However, like, I don't know, I explained it to my son and he took it well. A lot of people have something to say about that too, but I didn't really care. But I just think that if it's something that you feel in your heart is right to do, then you should do it. And if you have doubts about it, then I would wait until you're not having doubts. Like, that's how you know 100% if you should do it, is if you're not having any doubts about it. Because the second you start having doubts is the second that you should just like take a step back and really evaluate if it's like something that you want to do. Think about it, you know, think about it for a while. You have a while to think about it. But if, like I said, if it's something that is put on your heart to do, then you'll do it. You know? Someone said, if you could relive any moment of your life, which part would you? That's super easy. I would relive the birth of my son 1,000%. I literally can remember that moment of my life so vividly, and it was just like, oh my god, I can't even explain it. Obviously, if you're a mom, you know. And I don't know, is it like that when you have like more kids of your own? Because it was a different feeling when I had the surrogate baby. It was just a very like different feeling, and I don't know how to explain what I mean, but it was just so different, not the same at all. But yeah, I would definitely go back to the day that my son was born, because that was the best day of my life. How did you get pregnant if you don't have a man? Well, you see, there's this thing called a turkey base. I'm just kidding. It's called IVF. If you guys have never heard of IVF, it's called in vitro fertilization. Let's go into a science class real quick. So the doctors take the mother's egg and they take the father's sperm and they put it together in a little dish and they create a little embryo. The embryo is then the embryo is then placed in a freezer to be frozen. A couple of weeks later, the surrogate, me, goes to the doctor, opens her legs, and the doctor then places the frozen embryo into a catheter and places it into the uterus of the surrogate. That surrogate now goes on with her life for the next 9 months, carries this baby, goes through an entire pregnancy with the child who is not genetically hers, and then 9 months later, she delivers a beautiful baby that is in no way, shape, or form related to her at all. And then she embraces the baby, tells the baby that she loves him, and then she gives the baby to his parents. And that's how I had a baby with no man. What is your ethnicity? I am black and white. My eyebrows are a mess because I'm planning to do a video doing them, so ignore my eyebrows. My son, for anyone wondering, he is black, white, Mexican, and Salvadorian. So he is a little mixed baby, a little mixed baby. I love him so much. I miss him when he's with his dad. Sad face. But it's like nice to have time for myself, you know, especially when it comes to like dating. I'm able to like go on dates and stuff when he's, you know, like just not with me. So the last question is, would you want to have another kid? And by the way, I love you and your videos so much. Keep doing you, boo. Thank you, boo. Yes, I do want to have another kid. So let me tell you guys my thought process when it comes to having more kids. You guys are probably going to be like, okay, this bitch is crazy. But let me just tell you real quick. Let me just make sure my creases are cut evenly. The deal with kids for me, I am terrified. Not of having another kid, but of having another baby daddy. And by this I mean, you know, having it basically like not work out again. And with my son's dad, like, it is what it is. Things happened and I got my son out of it. It is what it is. We didn't work out. That's fine. But the next guy I have a kid with, like, it needs to work out. Having one baby daddy sucks. Having two baby daddies, dear God. 3, that's where I just draw the line. Like, that's not happening. So whether things work out between me and the next person I have kids with or not, the next person I have a kid with is gonna be the next person I have all my kids with. That's my point. So anyway, yeah, I do want to have more kids. I really want a girl. Like, I want a girl so bad. If you guys know me, anything about me, like, you know that I want a little daughter so bad. Like, I just, oh my God, I can already, like, I have dreams about what my daughter looks like. I've seen my daughter before. Like, I know that I'm meant to have a daughter. And so yeah, I do. Of course I want more kids. I feel like if I had another kid right now, not right now, sorry. I feel like the next kid that I have, if it's a girl, then there's a chance that I might consider being done. But then I don't want her to like be alone, because obviously like Elijah's gonna be probably, like, I'm planning to start having more kids, hopefully, if God willing, when he's 10, which is in like 4 years. So I think that if by then, you know, if I have one more kid, I'll probably just have 2. But if those 2 that I have next are boys, then I'll try one more time for a girl. And if that time is not a girl, then I'm just gonna be a mom of all boys, and it is what it is, and that's just how it's gonna be. But I really hope that, pray that one day I have a little girl. I want to have more kids in like 4 years after I find my husband. These next questions are just questions that I was asked on my random YouTube videos. Was your first labor process similar to this? I was in labor for a total of 19 hours, and I remember I pushed for about 1 hour. I pushed for 1 hour. Not like this time where I was in labor for an hour and I pushed one time. It took 5 seconds. No, like, I was dead ass pushing for a whole hour. And poor baby, he had such a cone head. He was so cute. I remember he came out and I was so shocked that he looked like me. Like, I was shocked. For some reason, I thought that since his dad is, like, you know, full Latino, I thought that he would come out looking like a little Latino baby. Like, that's what I thought in my head. But no, he came out looking like a little black baby. He was so cute. Oh my gosh. He was the cutest baby ever, and I just freaking missed that stage so much. And he was such a good baby. After I had my son, I was super emotional, like I was after I had my surrogate baby. And that's honestly normal after pregnancy, because your body is going through a lot of hormonal changes, whether people realize that or not. I don't really know what you guys realize or understand about pregnancy, or if you guys just, like, you know, I don't know, but you're hormonal. And I remember when people would come to the hospital, like, hold Elijah, I used to get, like, mad. Like, I did not want anybody holding my baby. I did not get like that with my surrogate baby at all. Like, I was not protective over him. I did not have that same, like, maternal thing that I had with Elijah. Like, I don't know if that's weird or if that makes me like a bad person or, you know, whatever. I just didn't feel that with this pregnancy. Or this baby. And I also get asked a lot, you know, how do you not get attached to the baby? Like, how do you do that? A lot of people just don't get it. And they're like, if I carried a baby that was not mine, like, I would want to keep it still and blah blah blah. And it's like, how do you know that? Because you've never done it. So how do you know that that's how you would feel if you did it? You know, like, you don't know how you would feel unless you're in that situation yourself. And that's something I've realized too about the internet, is like, people will say what they want to say, their opinion, but they've never experienced what you are going through. You can't give people advice on something that you literally have never lived. I just think that's ridiculous, but whatever. It's the time we live in. I just didn't get attached because I didn't allow myself. I knew from the beginning what it was that I was signing up for. I was carrying a baby that was not mine. You know, there was not like a surprise. Like, after I found out I was pregnant, you know, 3 months pregnant, they're like, oh, it's not yours. Like, it's not like that. Like, I knew. Okay, someone said, if I want 3 of my own kids, is it a bad idea to be a surrogate? So, okay, I don't know if you guys know this. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But in order to be a surrogate, you have to, like, it's not like optional, like, you have to have already had another kid. I literally had people DM me and I asked them, like, oh, like, how old is your kid? Like, oh, I don't have any. Like, no, like, this is not something you do like throughout college, like pay for college. It's not something you do for money. I think that that's like the number one thing that like really pisses me off, is when people like are like, oh, you did it for the money. It's like, no. See, if I did it for the money, I would have done it for the money. Like, I didn't even know how much money you made, which, if you guys, I get asked that question all the time. Everyone is different, so it depends on your state, it depends on like a lot of things, what agency, you know, like, there's so many factors that go into it. So you have to do your research based on the area that you're in, to see like how much, you know, you get, whatever. Not just a quick and easy way to make money. It has to be something that really you want to do, that was like put on your heart to do for someone else. It's not about money. And if you go into it with that mentality, then it's gonna fuck you, because like, that's not what you're doing it for. It's not even a payment, it's a compensation. So anyway, if you want 3 kids of your own, if you already have one, I mean, I want 3 more kids of my own and I did it. So, I mean, you can do it too. It's really up to you. So this lady, like, she was a surrogate and she unfortunately like passed away during labor, which is like so sad. And I feel so bad for her family and her kids that she had. And, you know, obviously with any birth, like, there's always the possibilities of things going wrong. And that's why there's contracts and legal papers and lawyers involved. It's not just this thing that you just do for money, like a quick, easy thing. Like, I don't understand why people think that, because it's not like that at all. Okay, well, my battery's about to die, so I'm gonna finish my makeup and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so that completes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry if it was all over the place, but like, my life is kind of all over the place right now. Like I said, I'm about to go on a date situation. But yeah, so that completes this Q&A. Get ready with me. AKA, like, I didn't know what to film, so I filmed this. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel so you guys don't miss a video. I upload 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I say at 4 p.m, but you know, it could be anytime after 4. I should just say that, anytime after 4. Thank you guys for all of your support. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.